Hey, this is Rich Taylor with Trans World Motocross. We're here on Trans World TV, and we're at the Kawasaki KX250F intro up at Huss Ranch.
What we tried to do with the 07 model was, in the engine department, we really wanted to increase the bottom end power, but we didn't want to sacrifice any of the top end. So what we've done is we've gone with a straighter and longer air boot here. The screens and the arrestor and the airbox have actually been widened apart to increase the airflow efficiency to the motor. Have revised engine and carburetor settings here as well, so you really notice that nice good hit. But if you've ridden an 06, you'll also notice that top end power is still there as well.
Motor-wise, about the same as last year. They made a few changes to the transmission, shifted a little bit smoother, a little bit more positive feel. Motor's fast. It has really good response out of the corners. It accelerates hard, and it seems to pull. It revs well.
It's actually an all-new transmission, still a 5-speed, but what we've done is we've actually made the gears stronger by making them wider. Also improved shifting feel. We have some new ratcheting mechanisms in there as well. In terms of the engine performance, since it's been increased, we wanted to make sure that the cooling capacity was also taken care of. So what we've done is we've actually raised the height of the radiator on the right-hand side. It's 20 millimeters larger for better cooling capacity.
They took the ridges out of the frame, made the frame a little bit more rigid. Now that sounds kind of weird with an aluminum frame. Seems like everyone else is talking about making it more forgiving and a little softer, but Kawasaki actually made it a little stiffer because their bike already turns really well. And the added rigidity actually makes the bike a little bit more stable coming into corners, little bit less head shake maybe. The whole bike just stays a little bit straighter on acceleration and on decel. Actually made quite a big difference. Here at Huss Ranch, the track's not real super fast, but there are some straightaways into some bumpy corners, and you could really tell the bike just stayed on a plane, stayed and tracked very well.
We have new shock spring, new internal valving, and a new compression adjuster needle for better adjustment all the way through. On the forks, we're using the Showa twin chamber forks, and those have been revised in terms of valving as well, and we have some new sub springs on the forks, so better action, a little plusher ride.
Suspension wise, Showa suspension stuff seems to work really well. Again, the track isn't super rough, but from what we could tell, it was sprung good for me. I'm about 165 pounds. Didn't have any problem with it bottoming. Bike was plush, worked really well.
We actually sold out of this bike last year, so a lot of you went to your dealers, maybe look for them. They weren't there later on in the year, so if you're into this bike, go see a Kawasaki dealer. They're on the floor right now.